Now, let's head out on the go and find Mike Siona, who is out in transit for us this morning. Literally, Mike.
Yes, very much literally in transit here, and going to be on transit a little bit later this morning in this wonderful electric bus. But we're not talking about this bus in particular. We're talking about bus service in general here with Mike Molenbeek, who is the director of Saskatoon Transit, ahead of the busiest time of year, back to school, and that means some changes coming up here.
Yeah, you bet. Fall service, like every year, it's a big rush. A lot of people coming back onto our service that were here, maybe took the summer off, but also a lot of new students coming into the system. So we always like to remind people, be patient. Everyone likes to get exactly where they need to go at exactly the right time, so it takes a couple weeks while everything balances out. Everyone finds that trip that works best for them. So please be patient. We're out monitoring. The team's going to be out at a lot of locations, just checking on passenger loads, getting a better understanding on where people are and helping things along. So take off your backpacks, pack in, please, and we'll try to get everyone where they need to go. But we are excited about a lot of new service we have coming out. Expansion of in the Northeast, the routes, the 4, the 43, 44, 45 and 46 all have 30-minute service again. So every 30 minutes during the day, you're going to see a bus coming by there. And then some additional service on the Route 17 between Stonebridge and University. There's going to be a bus every 10 minutes on those locations.
Nice. And then in terms of high schools, because you're seeing an uptick in terms of high school traffic, sorry, these mosquitoes are trying to catch a free ride on the bus. We're not going to let that happen. But talking about the high school service, you guys have coordinated some changes to routes to line up with the bells.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do work with the high schools, the school boards, to make sure we understand when the bell times are, so we can get people where they need to go at the right time. Some additional service on those fronts where we have adjusted a couple of the high school routes, split one into two, and some of our phase 2 that we have coming out here, but some additional service for those high school students where they need to go.
Right on. Okay, well, we'll be talking about some new buses and things like that as well as the morning continues. I don't know, I got to get some bug spray or something. It's ridiculous out here. A little bit of sunshine and some heat, and we get all these bugs. But that should be no issue for you because you've got air-conditioned buses to ride. So make sure you check out the Transit website for all the details on the expansions and the new routes and offerings as we head towards back to school.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. Look forward to learning all these new details coming up throughout the course of the morning. All right, heading back out on the go with Mike Siona, who's giving public transit a try this morning. Mike?
I'll tell you, we're having so much fun on the bus this morning. We haven't even gone anywhere yet. And that's, of course, credence to Mike Molenbeek and how wise he is about all things transit related, which is good because he's the director of transit here in Saskatoon. But we've had a great conversation off camera. It's time to share some of those details with you now, specifically as we're talking back to school and this phase 2. We talked about phase 1 with the increase in routes and timing with the schools and things like that. Phase 2 involves new buses.
Yeah, you bet. So we got a lot of improvements we're making this fall, but we can't get it all quite done right from the get-go. So some new buses are on their way right now. They're being built out in Quebec, and they'll be making the long trip here pretty quickly. And once those buses are ready and in service, what we're going to start doing is bringing out a couple additional high school routes, and then bringing back some of the frequency. We had to peel back starting here in August on a couple of the routes, just to make sure we had enough bus capacity and reliability to have these improvements we're seeing on the northeast sector and then some of these other high school positions.
Perfect. So we're looking at obviously those increased frequencies, and then once we get through this first couple of weeks as people adjust to kind of the new volume and stuff, then we'll add in some more buses to make it even better.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's an exciting time getting to see these improvements we're making here at the end of August here, and then some additional improvements in a handful of weeks here once we have everything ready to go.
Fantastic. Now I understand that next year more buses on the way, and this is all aside from any of the BRT discussion.
Yeah, so this is all part of that fleet renewal strategy that we got approved by council earlier this year. Last year in 24 we saw 10 new buses come in. This year in 25 we have 20 new buses. The next year we're keyed up for 21.
I love that. Now, we talked a little bit earlier, if you are a bus rider or you're about to become a bus rider either for the first time or again, there are some tips. We'll talk about those again. Just to remind everybody to be a little bit patient. There could be a couple of, I guess, just some growing pains as we see more volume and capacity out here. But all those details can be found on the Saskatoon Transit website.
All right, Mike, excellent. Thank you very much. We'll check back in with you in a little while. Let's go back out on the go and find Mike Siona with another option for commuting, and that's public transit this morning.
Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but school starts 1 week from today on Tuesday after the long weekend. But for all bad news, there is good news. And the good news, as Mike Molenbeek has been telling us this morning, is that we have some changes to the transit service which should alleviate some issues that could happen as we head back to school.
Yeah, absolutely. As we do with every fall, everyone's rushing to get onto that last bus to get them exactly to where they want to go on time. So, everyone be patient. We have a lot of extra service we're putting out this year. So if you're out in the Northeast running a 4, the 43, the 44, the 45, or the 46, we brought back 30-minute frequency of those services. So up until right now we're at 40 minutes, but once August 31st hits, those routes will be at 30 minutes. So it should help a lot with the passenger loads out there. And we made some adjustments to the 17 from Stonebridge going into the university. That we have 10-minute service through the day for those students as well.
Fantastic. Now, obviously, that's a big relief for those people using those routes, but with the capacity in Phase 1, we don't have the new buses yet until kind of October. They'll be in service here. So that means we've got this month that we've got a bridge. Could be some other services that are changing as well, and you want people all across the city that are taking the bus to just check their schedules.
Yeah, absolutely. So we wanted to make sure we could put this additional frequency in place as soon as possible. Unfortunately, we don't have all the buses that we're set for this year. They'll be on their way from Quebec right away. They're being built right now, and we'll be excited to have them in the fleet. But until then, we've had to adjust a little bit of the frequency on a couple of the routes. So check the website. We'll have additional information on a couple of the trips that had to be removed, so that way we can spread things out and just be as reliable as we can for everybody going into this new year.
No doubt. That's the key. Now, you mentioned, obviously, everybody wants it to serve me, and that's all fine and dandy, but you can't always guarantee to be there 3 minutes before you're supposed to be there. Unless you're in high school, because you guys have timed some of the buses and the timing of this to actually facilitate getting as close to the bell time. What a great idea.
Yeah, absolutely. So we always try to work as closely as we can with the school boards and the high schools to try to get the bell time sorted out, so we can have those high school specials that roll in through the neighborhoods and make it to those schools. Time those as best as possible. So again, check the website transit.saskatoon.ca. Have a look at what those new high school routes look like, and see how they can serve you to get to where you're going.
Fantastic. A couple weeks here to see what's going on, and obviously you guys are always got people out and staff looking at volumes and riderships, and then the new buses will be here by October, and things will go from good to great to greatest, I'm sure. Mike, thanks very much for a couple of minutes this morning.
Thanks.